Hi folks, welcome to another week of insights at India Pulse at ISB. This week, we look at the groundwater and surface water availability in India. Last week, we all celebrated World Water Day, and under this year's theme of valuing water, we decide to take a look at the condition of water availability in different parts of the country. Through this week's dashboard, we've attempted to explore the changing landscape of water use in India and identify spatial units where water scarcity has exacerbated over the last 8 years. With these units, we further take a look at the access to surface water through different water bodies such as rivers and dams and canals. I have with me Shamil, who will walk us through the entire dashboard today. So Shamil, what are the implications of this week's assessment for policymakers, and why does this analysis even matter?
Thanks, Anirudh. So there are two major implications of this analysis, Anirudh. The first is that we are able to actually identify regions where groundwater scarcity has been increasing over the last few years. There are definite implications of this on the increasing rate of urbanization in India. For example, the water shortages in urban areas during the summer is almost a recurring problem in India now. However, this was not the case 10 years ago. Secondly, in India, which as we all know is rapidly urbanizing, if we continue along the same path without regulation in the use of groundwater, not valuing the fact that in fact groundwater is a non-renewable resource in the short term, the urbanized areas will eventually run out of groundwater. And this will also lead to an increasing pressure on surrounding rural areas. In order to satisfy the demand of urban areas, the agricultural areas will be exploited for groundwater, eventually affecting productivity outcomes and leading to a shift in land use patterns. Finally, looking at industrialization, if industries are established in areas where groundwater exploitation is high, this means that additional costs will be required in order to set up these industries. And that might actually drive people away from certain regions where industry development is necessary.
Fantastic. Shamil, can you walk us a priori to what are the critical takeaways of this dashboard?
Sure. So there are two main takeaways for the dashboard this week. Firstly, we observe that beyond the desert areas of Rajasthan, there has been a growth of water scarce regions in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh from 2011 to 2017. And second, that this scarcity is primarily growing in urbanizing regions, especially in urban areas that are farther away from sources of surface water. In a place like India, where 64% of area is dependent on monsoons, this means that water scarcity is increasing within all these regions that overlap with areas dependent on monsoons.
I see. Shamil, can you also now walk us through the dashboard? Tell us what the colors mean and what have we achieved when it comes to groundwater availability and scarcity in the country?
Sure, Anirudh. So in this particular dashboard, we actually started off by looking at the district and block level assessments of groundwater that are developed by the Central Groundwater Board in India. These assessments are done based on the stages of groundwater development. Simply, a measure of how much percent of total groundwater volume at a block or district level is being used, which is indirectly measured through a set of regulated wells across the country. Areas range from being safe, which is seen here in green, to semi-critical, critical, and overexploited, which are seen here in red. The CGWB assesses the condition of groundwater every 2 to 3 years, and the report is published publicly. However, over time, we do understand that there are changes in district and block boundaries. So, for example, assessments that have been done in 2011 may not be entirely true in 2017 because the district and block boundaries have changed. In order to overcome this problem of inconsistent district boundaries, we have normalized the assessments from 2011, 2013, and 2017 on a pan-India uniform grid. This grid is set at a 50 kilometer by 50 kilometer radius, which is the average extent of a typical block across the country. Now, within this grid, and looking at the ratio of areas of blocks within each of this grid, we have managed to develop a more consistent method of weighing groundwater scarcity over the years, where currently you're looking at the 2011 dashboard when it comes to assessment of groundwater areas. Places that where groundwater exploitation is high and where there is a possibility of groundwater scarcity are shown in red, and areas where it is low is shown in green. We observe two contiguous patches here. One in Rajasthan, which is primarily the Thar Desert, and the second is a contiguous patch which actually starts in Madurai and goes all the way up to Kolhapur in Maharashtra, where cutting across Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Maharashtra.
I see. So this scenario, Shamil, is for 2011. What is the state as of today of groundwater exploitation pan-India?
Sure. So the continuous gradation that we have developed using this grid actually enables us to compare the changing scenario across India. So I can show you on the dashboard here that if I actually decide to look at the assessment of groundwater in 2017, I can simply change the filter and actually see this assessment that has been done for 2017. Similarly, I can filter out previous assessments. So in this particular case, if I filter 2017 back, I will actually be able to understand what the scenario is in 2011. So let us walk through what has been happening over the last 7-8 years. So if we first look at 2013, you can actually see that there is actually an intensification of the red areas and a type of deepening of sort of groundwater scarcity. And secondly, we find new areas where groundwater is starting to be used extensively. A good example of this is the region around Hyderabad. And we can actually see that it actually intensifies if we go from 2011 to 2013. If we do the same thing for 2017, we'll actually see what the changes have been. And these actually show areas such as Pune, Ranchi, and Bhilai becoming more critical and going from a place of being safe or semi-critical to being critical or overexploited in terms of groundwater use.
I see. So my understanding is that this entire work is primarily done on groundwater. How about surface water? Are all these areas primarily dependent only on groundwater, or is there a connotation when it comes to availability of surface water as well?
Sure. So when we actually take a look at surface water, we need to consider two things. The networks of rivers that you can actually see here and the location of dams. So if I turn on the location of dams, you can see the entire distribution of dams across India. And we actually observe that, most of these dams are actually built upstream. So you can see that that is like where near the source of the water. When you start regulating water flow downstream, you actually affect both the access of surface water as well as the amount of water percolating in the ground in the downstream regions. And this effect is actually very prominent in this southern part, where we have actually been seeing an increase in groundwater scarcity and an overexploitation of groundwater.
Shamil, thank you very much for this week's insight. Folks, we now invite you to play with the dashboard, understand both surface water and groundwater usage over the last decade in the country. And we also invite you to collaborate with DERI at ISB, for any policy implications and databases where you would want the team to study. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shamil.